what are some opportunities that you see here in the kingdom or in the region with regard to alternative energy and renewable energy?
Well, it's a great question, and I'm so excited to be here for the first time. The kingdom has an incredible opportunity to utilize their existing oil infrastructure to extract lithium from their oil well brines. And this isn't the lithium for the 30-year-old batteries that we're all sitting here using in our cell phone together. This is for the next generation of batteries, lithium metal batteries. You heard Professor Donald Sadoway, my co-founder, speak just a little while ago about the batteries we're working on at Pure Lithium. And we can make lithium from these oil field brines, and we can turn it into a battery electrode, which is the most important component for our battery. Why we're so excited is we see Saudi Arabia as an opportunity to deploy transformative technology in one country. So there's no battery infrastructure here, and the opportunity to leapfrog into the next generation battery because the materials are all here under the ground is so incredibly exciting. And there's a vision.
Right. Oh, very cool. I had never heard about that until I spoke to you and about your company, Pure Lithium.
We invented it, so.
Yeah. I guess it would be weird then to have heard about it before.
Yeah. Well, I think that the urgency with trying to keep the supply chain stocked and secure, there are two approaches to that. One is to take the steps that keep the inventory high and so on. But my approach is always to invent, and to invent more secure inputs that will give us a reliable supply of the minerals that we want to convert to metals.
But what are you working on now? I met one of your colleagues on the flight over from the UK. What gets you out of bed as an inventor today?
Well, there are a number of technologies. There's a new one in batteries that you met, Emilie. This is Pure Lithium, to make a lithium metal battery. And the invention there is to address your first question, which is supply chain. How do we secure cobalt, nickel, manganese, graphite? What do? Invent them out. Our battery has no cobalt, no nickel. So what do we do instead? Well, it turns out it dovetails with what's going on here in the kingdom. With oil brines, we can extract lithium from the oil brines, and also there's a vanadium in the combustion residue, ash, and so we can use vanadium oxide in the electrode, and we have a lithium metal battery that doesn't have a volatile flammable electrolyte and doesn't use any of these tight supply metals.
So the second barrier that I want to talk about is the commodity cycle that we're in. So lithium right now in your lithium-ion batteries comes in the form of a carbonate or a hydroxide, and it's a compound. So there's 18% lithium. It's not all metal, and that's all on one side of your battery. But because the industry's evolved for 30 years, there aren't new materials available to researchers. And when people have a new technology, the investors say, well, where are you going to buy everything? What are you going to do? So it's sort of on one hand, it's a chicken and an egg problem, but the only way to get out of this box, this huge problem that we found ourselves in from this beautiful battery invention that changed our lives, is to really think differently. Don't invent a battery that costs a lot of money. Don't invent something that uses unobtainium. Find locally sourced supply chains and come up with different battery chemistries, metal-based battery chemistries that are inexpensive and scalable all over the world. We cannot rely on China anymore to supply the entire universe with batteries. We have different climate regions all over the world. You can make different batteries climate specific, and you can save costs and be smarter with resources.
Renewable energy is absurdly energy intensive. When people talk about using wind power, or they talk about using solar power, you're using between 7 and 37 times more copper than any per unit of electrical energy generated. So wind farms, very copper intensive. Solar power, very copper intensive. And so behind us, Allah has only given us one periodic table in the known universe. And there are 8 or 9 metals in that periodic table that we must rely on if we are to make any progress on the reduction of hydrocarbon and making a better world.